Hey, Carlos. Thanks so much for coming in today. Did you find the office okay?
Yeah.
All right. So I know it can be super hard to come and talk to somebody, and especially somebody that is brand new to you, and you're here to talk about something super difficult. So I just want to applaud you for making the appointment and for keeping it. Can I grab you some water or juice?
Juice is good.
All right, great.
Thanks.
There you go. And help yourself to the things on the table. I like to call them fidgets. You're probably familiar with some of the things there. There's a Rubik's Cube and a sand tray. Feel free to doodle or do some coloring, whatever. That can sometimes calm us down when we're doing something with our hands. So help yourself if that's helpful for you. How are you doing today?
I'm okay, I guess.
So I gave you a brief description on the phone of our session and how we would be spending our time today for the most part. And then we also went over the confidentiality piece of things. Did you have any questions about any of that, Carlos?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, great. If you do at any point, don't hesitate to ask. So, great. What brings you in today, Carlos?
Well, I kind of feel crazy. Ever since the car accident happened, I feel weird. I can't sleep like I used to, and I love sleeping. I just feel super jumpy and nervous and, well, kind of crazy. Being in a car still completely freaks me out. My mom has to drive me everywhere, and even then I can barely stay in the car. I feel like a baby, and I hate it. I mean, I wonder if I'm ever going to feel normal again.
That sounds really hard. It sounds like you've lost some of your freedom that you used to have, having to have your mom drive you around. It sounds like it's impacted you a lot. And so today what I want to do is have you maybe go through some of those symptoms that you're feeling, some of the things that are making you feel, as you described, as crazy. And I want to assure you that you're absolutely not crazy. And at the end, maybe we'll come away with some things that you can try before we get together again, if that's helpful for you. I do have a questionnaire. It's called the Trauma Screening Questionnaire, the TSQ, sorry, which is acronym for everything. Would it be helpful? It's short. There's 10 questions. Would it be helpful if I read it through? Would it be helpful if you filled it out on your own? Which would you prefer, Carlos?
Can read through it.
Okay, great. So it's really just yes, no. I'm gonna list a symptom that you might be feeling, something that you're experiencing. A yes is if you've had it at least twice in the past week. So not something that happened a long time ago, but something that you're experiencing within this past week. And then no is just no. Okay. So the first one is if you've had upsetting thoughts or memories about the event that have come into your mind against your will.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had any upsetting dreams about the car accident, Carlos?
No.
And then are you acting or feeling as though the event is going to happen again, like that the car accident is happening again? Sorry.
No.
Okay. Are you feeling upset by reminders of the event?
Yeah.
Bodily reactions, so maybe a fast heartbeat, your stomach is churning.
Yeah.
Okay. And then difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep.
Yes.
Okay. Irritability and outbursts of anger.
I don't think so.
Right. Difficulty concentrating.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. A heightened awareness of potential dangers, either to yourself or to others that you're with.
No.
Right. And then feeling jumpy or being startled by something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I think what we'll do is I'll just ask you questions about specific ones just to get a sense of how things are going for you, okay? So tell me a little bit about your sleep. Is it hard to fall asleep? Is it hard to stay asleep? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, typically when I try to go to bed, I'll lay there for a while and I won't end up actually being able to go to sleep because I know and I feel super tired, but I'm not able to get to sleep. And when I do end up getting to sleep, I end up waking up a lot in the middle of the night, and then I have to go back to bed and start all over again, and it sucks.
Wow, that sounds like it sucks. It sounds like it's really impacting you in the daytime and at night. You mentioned feeling some bodily reactions that you're having, churning in the stomach, heartbeat. Some people describe that as jumpy or nervous. Tell me what that's like for you.
Well, the nervous feeling is there all the time, and I know it's weird, but when I'm with my dog or when the dog barks or there's any loud sounds, it startles me and scares the crap out of me. And it's like when I get jolted, it takes me forever to get calmed down again, and it kind of just happens all the time. And I don't know if there are any worse or better times.
Okay. So when you feel nervous or jumpy, where exactly are you feeling that in your body?
I first notice that my heart beats super fast, and then my breathing gets weird. But I guess I feel it in my stomach too. I don't know. I just feel nervous.
Okay. Are you feeling like that right now, would you say?
Yeah, like always.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm sure you've done pain scales at the doctor or in the hospital. If you had to rate that on a scale of 1 to 10, what would that be, Carlos?
I don't know, like a 6 maybe.
Okay. Okay. So, another thing you talked about was having thoughts about the accident that come unexpectedly. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure, that's fine. Sometimes just out of nowhere, I will start to see the whole accident happening again, especially the part right after where I couldn't move or get out of the car. I feel panicky, and it is like a movie running in my head, and it totally distracts me from whatever I was doing before. It kind of just takes over. I mean, I'm not trying to think about it, but it'll just end up happening. And I'm sure I should just try to let it go, but I can't.
It sounds like something that just takes over. I'm hearing you say that it's something that it just comes out of nowhere, and it's not something that you have a lot of control over. And if I can talk you into giving yourself a break, it is absolutely not something that people can just turn on and off, and that it does take over. These are things that happen to people in traumatic after traumatic events, and so a lot of what you're describing is normal, even though it doesn't feel good. It feels horrible. You described it as feeling crazy. They are somewhat normal reactions after a traumatic event, and so you're right. It's not completely in your control. So hopefully we can find some things to help you through that. Okay. How often would you say that you're having those thoughts?
I don't know, maybe once a day or so. I mean, it used to happen a lot more, but now it's just about once a day.
Okay. And then concentration also came up on the questionnaire. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I didn't really notice concentration until I went back to work. It was just hard for me to focus on one thing at a time, and I kind of get easily distracted, especially when someone is talking to me for a long time. I could just kind of zone out. I just kind of zone out, and I can't imagine how hard school would be right now.
Okay. Yeah, it's summer, and so hopefully by the time school rolls around, we'll have some strategies to help you, and also hopefully these symptoms will also calm down and diminish by then too. Have you struggled with concentration before, Carlos?
Yeah, I have ADD.
Okay, and so is what you're experiencing now, does it feel the same? Does it feel different?
Kind of feels the same, but I know it's more because of the accident, or at least I think it is. I just can't switch it off.
Okay. So do people at work know what happened?
No.
Okay. So it might be good if you feel like you have somebody at work that you can trust, and that you feel comfortable talking about it with, to just let them know what's going on for you. It's always good to have somebody in your trusted circle. You mentioned earlier that you're no, you didn't, sorry. It's good to have somebody in your trusted circle just that knows what's going on for you and that can just keep an eye out for you. So I would recommend that you choose maybe a person that you trust and talk with them. Do you feel comfortable talking to people about what happened?
Yeah, sometimes. Mostly I just think that people will believe that I should be over it. Because, I mean, it did happen 3 months ago, and people get in accidents all the time and function fine right afterwards, right?
Some people do. I mean, some people, 5 different people could be in the same accident, and all of them may have a completely different experience physically and emotionally. And somebody could walk away and maybe not give it another thought, and other people are really impacted. It's so different between people, but I think one thing to keep in mind is it doesn't make anybody any worse or better. It's just a completely different human experience. So what I'd like to do now is shift and talk a little bit about things that you might be doing right now that help you to feel better, and then maybe some things that we can tap into to have you try between the times that we get together. So how does that sound for next step?
Sounds good.
Okay, great. So what helps you right now, Carlos? Are there things that you do that can make you feel better, even if it's just a little bit?
Well, I'm a sauté chef at a restaurant, so I guess being at work helps me take my mind off of it. And I just got back to work, but it is good for me to be around there. They're all like my family, so I guess that helps. But even then, it isn't still completely gone.
Wait, you're a chef and you're 17? That's incredible. Being a chef takes, from what I can see, a ton of focus, probably have to be super organized and creative. So that's amazing. How long have you liked to cook?
I've always liked to cook ever since I was a little kid, because I would usually just end up trying to cook food for myself or for my family at home on my free time. And that would typically just end up in me making a mess of the kitchen and not ending up with very good food, but it was always something I enjoyed doing, and it was a very good outlet for my creativity.
That sounds awesome. What are some other things that you like to do besides cook?
Other than
When you're not at work or school, when school starts again?
typically on my free time, I'll hang out with my dog Griffin, or I like to hang out with my friends and go fishing, go hiking, camping, all of those types of things. But ever since the accident happened, I kind of really haven't had any motivation to do that kind of stuff anymore.
It sounds like you're a social guy. It sounds like you have a lot of interests, and it sounds like you're maybe not spending your time doing a lot of those things. Sounds like cooking you are, but those other activities with friends and stuff haven't started up again. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we rewind, one of the activities that I'm thinking about for you to try is around sleep. Sleep is super important for everybody. Sleep is especially important for teenagers and their developing brains. And as you mentioned before, you love sleep. And so it would be really nice to see if we can find some ways to help you with that piece. Have you ever meditated before, Carlos?
No.
Okay. And there's a million apps out there. I certainly don't have to tell you that. But there are some apps that can help with sleep. And so the one that I'm thinking about does a guided meditation. It has a variety of different meditation sequences on it. There's one particular for sleep. So the way the app works is you're just going to listen to somebody, and you get to pick your voice too. You get to pick the person that's going to read it, so that can be really helpful too. And they just guide you through your thoughts and just kind of take over in a way and help you to bring your thoughts back into your body, and hopefully help you to relax and to get to sleep a little better. Okay. And then this app also has, I'm thinking about the description you gave of feeling jumpy and nervous. This also has a breathing meditation on it, which is really simple, something that would be good for you to maybe practice when you're not feeling super nervous, but then maybe would be something you could tap into when you have those times that you're feeling jumpy, your dog barks, maybe somebody drops something in the kitchen, something like that. Would you be willing to give that a try?
Yeah, sure. I do use a sleep machine, so I hope I can hear it over that machine. But can I use headphones?
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of people use headphones when they're going to sleep, and if that's not going to bother you too much, to maybe fall asleep with your headphones on. I don't see why there's any reason why you can't do that. Another thing for when you're feeling nervous or jumpy that I'm thinking about might be helpful for you is grounding. Have you ever heard of that concept?
No.
Okay. So it's literally, you just think about the ground, it just kind of brings you back to earth. So when somebody's feeling jumpy or nervous, typically we hold that space up high. And this just helps you to get back into your body and back into your body rhythms. And some of the activities can literally bring you back down to earth. And so I'm going to give you a list of 10 different things that you can try, but we can talk about just a couple of them and see if any resonate with you. You listen to music?
Yeah.
What kind of music do you like?
I like R&B music.
Okay. I'm not a R&B aficionado, but I'm thinking that there are some drum beats or some rhythmic parts to R&B. So when you're listening to music, that's the kind of music you want to be listening to. Something that has a steady beat to it. If you think about your heartbeat, or you think about something that's rhythmic, like rocking in a rocking chair or swinging in a hammock, that kind of music can help you get back into your body. Okay. The other thing I like to call naming the room, and it's literally just looking around you when you're feeling jumpy and nervous and kind of out of your body, and just naming 10 things that you see out loud. So do you want to just give that a try? As silly as it seems, just give it a try.
Like a refrigerator, books, pretzels, cup, stove, dog, another dog, stairs.
Okay. Yeah, and really what that's doing is it's bringing you back into the room. It brings you back into your body. The part that I like about that is that you're talking, and so our voices kind of give us soothing, have a soothing feature to our bodies too. So that's another thing you can try. And this isn't on the list, but since you mentioned that you're a chef, I don't know if there's things that you do when you're cooking that are rhythmic, that are soothing to you. Is there anything like that you're doing when you're cooking that kind of helps you to calm?
Maybe like stirring stuff or chopping and like mixing stuff. That's oftentimes really rhythmic because it has to be done constantly.
Yeah.
So
that might be a way to incorporate something you like doing in with something that is, soothing and rhythmic, but also trying to incorporate things that you do like doing. You did mention that you are not doing some of the things that you like doing on your list: fishing, hanging out with friends. And so I'm wondering what did I give you? We talked about an app, and we talked about grounding, and then maybe if you could choose one thing on your things I like to do typically list and see if you can't get yourself out this week to do that. Those would be some good healing things for you to do. How does that sound?
sure, I can try that.
Okay, great. So our time is just about up, Carlos. And so I'm wondering, I don't know what's better for you in terms of scheduling. I know you drive yourself, and so would it be better for you and I to pick a time right now if you'd like to continue? Or would you like to take some time, get back to me, maybe text me or give me a call, and let me know some times that work for you? What's best for you, Carlos?
I could probably get back to you.
Okay, that sounds great. And you have my number. Any questions or
No.
things maybe we didn't talk about today?
No.
Okay, great. And you have my number. You are welcome to call me at any time. It's a secure line, and so if you leave a message, that just means that it's confidential and nobody else hears that message
Okay.
except for me. Okay.